Let's talk about Islam. You've probably heard a lot about it. Some of it might be confusing or even a bit scary. But what if I told you that much of what you hear is wrong? Yes, there are many misconceptions about Islam. Many people don't really know what it's about, and that's okay. We can learn together. Islam is one of the world's major religions. It's practiced by over 1 billion people. Yet, it's often misunderstood. People have ideas about Islam that just aren't true. These misconceptions can lead to fear and distrust. But understanding, not fear, is what we need. Why do these misconceptions exist? Well, sometimes it's because of the media. Other times it's because of lack of knowledge. But we can change that. By learning more about Islam, we can break down barriers. We can find out the truth together. So let's start by clearing up some common misconceptions. We'll explore what Islam really is, and why it's not what many people think. Let's get started. Islam is a faith based on peace and submission. It's not just a religion, it's a way of life. The word Islam itself means peace. Muslims, the followers of Islam, strive to live a life of peace. This peace is both internal and external. It's about finding peace within oneself and with others. Muslims believe in one God called Allah in Arabic. They follow the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon him. The teachings are found in the Quran, Islam's holy book. The Quran is a guide for Muslims on how to live their lives. It teaches kindness, honesty, and respect for others. There are 5 pillars of Islam. These are the core beliefs that every Muslim follows. They include faith, prayer, charity, fasting, and pilgrimage. These pillars guide Muslims in their daily lives. They help Muslims stay connected to their faith and community. Islam has a rich history and culture. It has made many contributions to the world. From science to art, Islam has influenced many areas. Understanding these contributions helps us appreciate the depth of this religion. One of the biggest misconceptions is that Islam promotes violence. This is simply not true. Islam teaches peace and compassion. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, emphasizes the importance of peace. It teaches Muslims to live harmoniously with others. Why do some people think Islam is violent? Sometimes it's because of what they see in the news. There are violent groups that claim to represent Islam, but these groups do not speak for all Muslims. Their actions go against the teachings of Islam. The vast majority of Muslims live peacefully. They condemn violence and terrorism. They strive to build communities based on love and respect. It's important to remember that violence is not a part of Islam. It's a distortion of its true teachings. Understanding this helps us see Islam for what it truly is, a religion of peace and love, not one of violence and hate. Let's judge Islam by its true teachings, not by the actions of a few. Another common myth is that all Muslims are the same. People often think Muslims live in the Middle East, but they are worldwide. They speak different languages, have different cultures. Islam is diverse. Muslims come from many different backgrounds. There are 2 main branches of Islam, Sunni and Shia. They have some differences in beliefs and practices, but they share the same core values. They both follow the teachings of the Quran, and they both strive to live by the 5 pillars of Islam. Muslims live in many different countries. Indonesia has the largest Muslim population. There are also many Muslims in India, Pakistan, and Nigeria. In the United States and Europe, Muslim communities are growing. They bring a rich diversity to their societies. This diversity is something to celebrate. It shows that Islam is not a monolith. It's a religion that embraces differences. Let's appreciate the diversity within Islam. It makes the world more vibrant and interesting. Misconception: the role of women in Islam. Many people think Islam oppresses women, but this is a misconception. Islam values women greatly. The Quran gives women many rights. It emphasizes their importance in society. In Islam, women have the right to education and work. They can own property and participate in civic life. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spoke highly of women. He encouraged men to treat women with respect and kindness. He showed that women are spiritually equal and have the same religious and moral duties. The Quran also states that all people are equal in the eyes of Allah, and that people are judged based on their moral choices and piety. However, some cultures practice discrimination against women. This is not because of Islam. It's due to cultural traditions. These practices go against the teachings of Islam. They should not be confused with what Islam really teaches. It's important to separate culture from religion. When we do, we see the true role of women in Islam. They are empowered and respected. They contribute greatly to their communities. Let's recognize and celebrate their contributions. Historical examples. Throughout history, Islam has shown its true values. The Islamic Golden Age is a great example. During this time, many advancements were made. In science, medicine, and philosophy, Muslims led the way. They made discoveries that benefit us even today. One famous figure is Ibn Sina, known as Avicenna in the West. He was a great physician and philosopher. His work in medicine was groundbreaking. It influenced medical practices in Europe for centuries. He showed how Islam values knowledge and progress. Another example is Fatima al-Fihri. She founded the world's first university in Morocco. Her contributions to education are still remembered today. This shows how Islam has always valued learning. It also highlights the important role women played in Islamic history. These historical examples show the true spirit of Islam, a spirit of learning, progress, and equality. Let's remember these contributions when we think about Islam. They tell a story of a rich and vibrant culture. Contemporary examples. In today's world, Muslims continue to contribute positively. They are leaders in many fields. From science to politics, Muslims are making a difference. They show that Islam is a religion of peace and progress. Take Malala Yousafzai, for example. She is a Nobel Peace Prize winner. She advocates for girls' education worldwide. Her work shows the true values of Islam. Values of education, equality, and peace. In the field of science, Dr. Hayat Sindhi is a great example. She is a leading biotechnologist from Saudi Arabia. Her work in medical technology is saving lives. She shows how Muslims are contributing to modern science. These contemporary examples show the positive impact Muslims have today. They break down stereotypes and misconceptions. They show the true face of Islam, a face of compassion, progress, and peace. Promoting tolerance and understanding. Understanding Islam helps break down barriers. It promotes tolerance and acceptance. When we learn more about each other, we find common ground. We see that we're not so different after all. We all want peace and happiness. Education is key to promoting understanding. By learning about Islam, we can debunk myths. We can replace fear with knowledge. This creates a more open and accepting society. It helps us live together peacefully. Dialogue is also important. Talking to each other helps us understand different perspectives. It builds bridges between communities. It shows us the beauty in diversity. By having open conversations, we learn to appreciate each other more. With understanding and tolerance, we can create a better world. A world where everyone is accepted and valued. Let's work together to promote these values. It starts with learning and listening. In conclusion, Islam is a religion of peace and diversity. It's often misunderstood, but that can change. By debunking common misconceptions, we learn the truth. We see that Islam values peace, equality, and progress. Muslims contribute positively to society. They have a rich history of innovation and learning. Today, they continue to make a difference. From education to science, their contributions are significant. Let's promote understanding and tolerance. Let's learn from each other and appreciate our differences. Together, we can create a more peaceful world. A world where everyone is respected and valued. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Let's continue to learn and grow together.